In a calculated and decisive move to uphold the independence and impartiality of the federal judiciary, President Joe Biden has drawn a firm line in the sand by threatening to veto Senate Bill 4199, also known as the Judges Act. Initially framed as a bipartisan effort to alleviate judicial backlogs in high-demand jurisdictions, the bill has since become a flashpoint in an intense political struggle. Critics argue that it serves as a strategic ploy by Republicans to secure a pathway for former President Donald Trump to reshape the judiciary in his ideological image. The timing and circumstances surrounding the bill's resurrection following the 2024 elections have sparked significant controversy. Why does this legislation provoke such opposition, and what does Biden's veto threat signify for the future of judicial appointments in the United States? This video delves into the intricate dynamics of the Judges Act, its political undercurrents, and the broader implications for American democracy. Joe Biden is making it clear that he'll not stand by while Donald Trump's influence continues to shape the federal judiciary, especially after the Trump administration's controversial appointments. One of the most significant areas where this battle is unfolding is in the expansion of the federal judiciary, a move championed by Trump and certain members of the Republican Party. Biden's response has been swift and firm. He's preparing to veto Senate Bill 4199, a piece of legislation originally created with bipartisan support but ultimately turned into a controversial move once Trump's election win sparked a rush to expand judicial appointments. Senate Bill 4199, also known as the Judges Act, was designed to create 66 new federal judgeships to address ongoing judicial understaffing in certain states, including California and Texas. The intention behind the bill was to provide more resources to federal courts in states that had significant backlogs of cases and needed more judges to handle the caseload. The bill passed the Senate in August, but it was effectively stalled in the House until after the election. This delay was seen by many as a strategic move by Republicans to see whether Trump would be able to return to the White House before advancing such a significant judicial expansion. The delay created a scenario where Biden, who was fully aware of the bill's contents and the timing, found himself in the difficult position of not being able to fill the judicial vacancies created by this act. As a result, the president's administration has opposed the bill, emphasizing that while judicial staffing is crucial, Senate Bill 4199 is unnecessary and hasty. Biden's administration believes that the bill's primary aim is not to address urgent judicial needs, but rather to give Trump a head start in appointing judges, particularly in states where Republican senators had deliberately left vacancies open in hopes of Trump returning to power. The Biden administration's official statement from the Office of Management and Budget highlights the critical reasons behind their opposition to the bill. While judicial staffing is essential to the fair and efficient operation of the courts, the bill is seen as part of a broader GOP effort to secure judicial appointments that align with their political ideology. This move, they argue, is not about resolving a true emergency, but about preparing the judiciary for a potential Trump resurgence. Further complicating matters, the Biden administration points out that the bill, which was passed hastily without full examination, could lead to problems in how the new judgeships would be allocated and how the existing vacancies should be filled. Moreover, the rush to pass the bill at the end of the year, with only weeks left in the 118th Congress, leaves little time for adequate debate or consideration of the impacts on the federal court system. If this bill were to be presented to President Biden, the administration has made it clear that he would veto it. Biden's veto power is seen as a crucial check against the rapid and potentially damaging reshaping of the federal judiciary under a Trump-like influence. The push to expand the judiciary, particularly after the Republican Party regained control of the House, raises concerns that the GOP could attempt a larger, even more ambitious expansion of federal judgeships in the future. Looking back at history, this is not the first time the federal judiciary has been expanded in such a manner. In the 1980s, during Ronald Reagan's presidency, the GOP pushed for an expansion of the judiciary, which resulted in the appointment of over 4,500 new federal judges. The fear among critics of this current push is that, under the influence of Trump and the MAGA wing of the Republican Party, they will attempt to do something similar, potentially stacking the courts in favor of conservative ideologies for generations to come. Given the narrow Republican control in the House, many believe that the GOP will continue to push for an expansion of the judiciary. However, Biden's veto power could serve as a critical tool in preventing the GOP from pushing through a massive expansion that would reshape the federal judiciary for years to come. As of now, Biden remains steadfast in his opposition to Senate Bill 4199, but the fight is far from over, with Republicans likely to attempt another push to expand the judiciary in the near future. The stakes are high, and the outcome of this battle will have lasting implications for the future of the American legal system. Joe Biden is firmly opposed to a move that could dramatically reshape the federal judiciary in favor of Donald Trump. Senate Bill 4199, which proposes the addition of 66 new federal judgeships, has sparked a heated debate in the closing days of the 118th Congress. While the bill had initially gained bipartisan support, it has since become a contentious issue. Biden, fearing that it would hand Trump another gift of judicial appointments, is standing his ground and preparing to block the legislation, refusing to let Trump fill these seats with his conservative picks. The bill would allow for the creation of these new judgeships, many in states where the courts are already overwhelmed with cases. But Biden's opposition centers around the timing and political context of the bill. Senate Bill 4199 was passed in the Senate, but stalled in the House until after the election, and many believe that the delay was intentional. Republicans wanted to ensure that if Trump won, he would have the opportunity to appoint these judges. This is exactly what Biden wants to avoid, another round of judicial appointments that could potentially cement Trump's ideological legacy for years to come. Donald Trump's judicial appointments have already left a significant mark on the courts, particularly in the appellate courts. He appointed a larger number of appeals court judges than Biden has had the chance to, and Trump has also managed to secure 3 appointments to the U.S. Supreme Court, compared to Biden's 1. Rumors circulating about the potential retirements of Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas suggest that Trump could have even more appointments in the future. Given this situation, Biden is reluctant to make the job easier for Trump by allowing him to fill even more judicial vacancies, especially when it is unclear whether these judgeships are genuinely needed or simply a political move by Republicans to expand their influence. Biden's strategy is to force the issue into the 119th Congress, where the Democrats will have more leverage and a chance to negotiate the terms. Biden's position is clear. Let the Republicans fight for these judicial seats through the narrow margin they hold in the House, and let them compromise with Democrats, rather than handing Trump the opportunity to fill 66 new vacancies. Biden knows that with Trump still a looming figure within the Republican Party, any new judicial appointments could tilt the judiciary further to the right for decades to come. Beyond judicial nominations, Biden has a series of actions he could take in the final days of his presidency that would thwart Trump's influence. With just over a month left in office, Biden has a window of opportunity to take bold actions, executive powers he still wields until January 20th, 11:59 a.m. He could use this time to issue pardons for key figures in the fight for democracy, such as members of the January 6th committee, including Liz Cheney and Adam Schiff, or those who helped protect the integrity of the democratic process. Biden could also commute sentences for people on death row, making a case for the abolition of the federal death penalty. Furthermore, Biden could strengthen certain immigration laws and protections before Trump has the chance to dismantle them. He could ground the ICE air network, which transports undocumented migrants around the country, and eliminate detention centers holding immigrants in inhumane conditions. These measures would not only protect vulnerable individuals, but also make it more difficult for Trump to reverse them when he regains power. Biden's refusal to let Senate Bill 4199 pass in its current form is a prime example of his commitment to blocking what he sees as an attempt to further entrench Trump's agenda in the federal judiciary. The legislation, if passed, would have been a major victory for Republicans, who have long sought to stack the courts with conservative judges. Biden's stance is a reminder that, While he may be nearing the end of his presidency, his ability to wield executive power is still significant, and he is using it to protect the future of the American legal system from further erosion by Trump's influence. This battle over the federal judiciary is just one piece of a larger struggle between Biden and Trump's political forces. The fight over Senate Bill 4199 is an important moment in this broader struggle, as it underscores the stakes of who controls the judiciary in the years ahead. Biden's firm opposition to the bill serves as a warning to Republicans that he will not allow Trump to reshape the judiciary without a fight. With a new Congress set to begin in January, this issue is far from settled, and the coming months will be crucial in determining the future direction of the federal courts. Biden's actions, both on the judicial front and in other areas, will have lasting implications for the future of the country, and he is determined not to make it easier for Trump to dominate the legal system once again. President Joe Biden's veto threat against the Judges Act represents a critical moment in the ongoing battle for the judiciary's independence and impartiality. By opposing this legislation, Biden not only thwarts what many perceive as a Republican attempt to consolidate power, but also reaffirms his commitment to preserving democratic principles. The stakes are monumental. The composition of the federal judiciary will shape the nation's legal and political trajectory for decades. As the 118th Congress concludes, the debate over judicial appointments highlights the broader ideological conflicts defining contemporary American politics. For Biden, this is a defining moment to wield his executive authority strategically, ensuring that the judiciary remains a cornerstone of impartial justice. For Trump and his allies, it serves as a reminder that their ambitions face formidable resistance. The outcome of this struggle will resonate far beyond the immediate political landscape, influencing the fabric of American democracy in profound and enduring ways.